Okay, everybody, it is Thursday, August the 7th, and we have just hit the road. We are headed to our annual trip to where?
Siesta Key, Florida.
Yep, and we are still in North Carolina. We just got started about 45 minutes ago. We are coming into the town of Shelby, North Carolina. Going to be entering South Carolina soon, so what we're going to do this trip, I know we've done a similar video, but it's been several years, so we're going to just chronicle our trip down to Florida. Just show you a few little things along the way, show you our supper tonight. We already know where we're eating supper. That will be
Sonny's BBQ
in
Commerce, Georgia.
Commerce, Georgia. Now, we love Sonny's barbecue. In my opinion, Sonny's is the best barbecue chain there is, and the Commerce, Georgia location is the best location that there is as far as I'm concerned. So we have been, I know you say, well, didn't you do a review there last year and the year before? Yeah, and we've actually eaten there probably the last 22, 23 years prior to that. That's
part of our trip.
That's part of our trip. It's our traditional stop on the way down. We are going to be spending the night tonight in Commerce, Georgia, so we only have about a 3-hour drive. Well, a little over 2 now, 3 hours from our house. And since we're getting a late start, somebody had to work today. Well, I worked early, but I got out early, and you worked till 2.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're just going to try to drive a couple hours, get a few hours under our belt, and take it on into Florida tomorrow. So we're actually not due in Siesta Key until Saturday. So we'll stop somewhere in Florida tomorrow night. We don't even know where yet. If it's going to be Gainesville, Ocala, Tampa, somewhere along that way, we're not sure. But anyway, just stay with us, and we hope to bring you an enjoyable video. So come along with us from North Carolina to Siesta Key. Alright, we're in Shelby, North Carolina now, and I do want to mention some famous people from Shelby, 2 notable ones, to me at least. The first was one of the greatest college basketball players of all time ever, and I'm not talking about Michael Jordan. He was great, but it was rumored that David Thompson could touch the top of a backboard on the basketball court. I know there was a time that he went up for a layup or for a rebound or something, and he actually hit his head on the backboard and injured himself. He played for NC State in the early 1970s. One of the greatest college basketball teams ever was the 1974 Wolfpack, and David Thompson played on that. He's from Shelby, went to Crest High School here. Also, if you've heard of Flatt and Scruggs, I'm talking about Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, Beverly Hillbillies, the Ballad of Jed Clampett, as it's coming on and it's going off. Earl Scruggs is from here in Shelby. Okay, on Highway 18, getting ready to have 1 state down and 3 more to go. Getting ready to enter into South Carolina. South Carolina state line. This is Cherokee County, South Carolina, near Gaffney. We'll be getting on Interstate 85 here in about 5 miles. Okay, fixing to get on Interstate 85 towards Spartanburg, Greenville, and Georgia. Okay, and here we see the famous Gaffney Peachoid water tower. Showed you that from a drone. I actually flew my drone up next to it last year. But there it is to the right. It's a water tower painted and shaped like a peach. It's even got the little thing at the bottom, and it's got the leaf on the side. And all right, we're getting off here at exit 90.
As always on our trips to Florida, we stop at Hamrick's here. I love this store.
What would a trip to Florida be without a stop at Hamrick's?
Yep.
We have one in Hickory, but this one's a lot better than that one.
Yeah, it is.
And it is actually cool today. We have been enjoying a whole week of cool weather for August. Highs in the 60s yesterday and probably in the 70s today. But it's been very pleasant. That Carolina wedge has been set up, and we've been getting a lot of rain and a lot of almost fall-like temperatures. Okay, and we have hit a traffic jam around Greenville, South Carolina. All 3 lanes are barely moving, sometimes stopping. And it's about 5:15, so I guess we're just hitting it at rush hour. Not fun, but part of it. If you must travel through Greenville, South Carolina, try not to do it between 5 and 5:30. We've been in this a good, 10 or 15 minutes already.
At least, yeah, and it's just bumper to bumper.
Yeah. You'll start to go, get up to about 30, then all of a sudden you see all the brake lights again, so not sure what's going on.
See a plane coming in.
And after about 25 or 30 minutes, just like that, the traffic starts moving. You ever been in those traffic jams where you don't even know why there was one? No wreck, there's nothing going on, it's just you're in it for a while, then all of a sudden everything starts moving, and I don't know, I've been in a lot like that. I'd like to know the science behind that.
They look on the other side, now they're experiencing it.
Yeah, they are. Going north, or I'm sorry, northbound on 85 now, they're experiencing it, but just like that all of a sudden. So we're probably about 150 miles from Atlanta. We're not going to make Atlanta tonight, that'll be tomorrow.
I'm getting hungry.
I am getting hungry too. About an hour and a half from Sonny's. Look at the traffic going northbound.
Oh, wow.
On that side over there. Wow. I'm glad I'm going south now. So we're just now actually getting to Greenville. Well, I spoke too soon. We're in another one. And we're actually past Greenville, so again, don't know why. Getting ready to cross Lake Hartwell Reservoir. And when we do that, we will officially be in the Peach State, the Empire State of the South. It has a few nicknames, but the state of Georgia. I like to show state lines and signs. In case y'all hadn't noticed that yet, I like to show those in the video. And they need to do some road work right here. But welcome to Georgia. We're glad Georgia's on your mind. Governor Brian Kemp. Okay, we're in Georgia. Are you happy to be in Georgia?
I am.
And folks, our day of traveling is almost over. We're only about, well, less than 30 miles from our stop for the night. And supper. Are you hungry?
I am. I'm ready to rest.
We are exactly 30 miles. We're getting off at exit 149. That's exit or mile marker 179. So 30 more miles and we're going to call it an evening. And we have reached our exit. We are getting ready to check in at the Days Inn and go get some supper, some good old barbecue.
Yes, I'm ready to eat and relax.
We have eaten at this Sonny's probably a good 25 times.
At least.
Or more, maybe. Sometimes even we would come down just to see the Braves and not even the Florida trip, we would stop here and eat as well. So we've, oh goodness, lost count. But here we are, Commerce exit. They actually have Tanger outlets off this exit. They're back behind us the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But a couple little things to do. They did close the J. Moore Farm store. We reviewed that about 3 years ago. They closed it, I think, the following year.
That was a neat little store.
It was. They have others, though. They have other locations, just they closed this one. But it's a little farm and produce store. You can get all kinds of sweets, cheeses, like smoked meats, I think, maybe, like sausages and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had little, like, fried pies. Remember the little, I got a coconut.
Yes,
cream
I
or
do
something
remember
like
those.
that.
Those were good. It was just kind of like what you would find in these little farm stores, kind of like even an Amish store in a way. A lot of the same items, but really enjoyed it. There's the Whataburger on the right. We actually reviewed that last year, and we stopped here. I don't know. We've been throwing around the idea of going there for breakfast in the morning. Possibly, we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so there's the Sonny's Barbecue sign on the left and the Days Inn sign on the right. We're literally going to check in and walk over and go eat. We're going to get the dogs put up in their cage. It's really neat staying off this exit. Second year we've done it, we used to just stop here and have to leave the van running with the air conditioner if it was hot while we ate lunch there, but it's kind of cool just to have a room we can go put them in.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we've gotten checked in, so now the fun part of trying to cross Highway 441 without getting hit.
Hopefully a Thursday evening it won't be too bad traffic.
And even here in northeast Georgia, they got some nice little palm trees planted. Palm trees don't really grow naturally up here, but this is actually for a day's in. This is the second year in a row we've stayed here. This is very nice. It's immaculate. Even the lobby, I mean, it's just a good smell, good fresh smell when you go in. Right across the street from the Walmart.
Gotta love that.
And right below that is Sonny's BBQ. Well, that's easy enough. No traffic hardly coming from that direction for a while. So, got a pretty little easy median concrete walkway here to walk on. Got one vehicle here, and now it's clear up that way, so we're going to go right ahead and cross on over. This highway can be a little busy. If you stay on 441 that way, you get into the North Georgia mountains, and up around the Dillard house in Dillard, Georgia, we've got a review there, at least one. Great place to eat. You're kind of here in Commerce, you're right at the foot of the mountains. You basically go, I don't know, 15, 20 miles that way, and it starts kind of getting a lot hillier.
It's a nice evening.
It is. It's not, the sun is out. It's not as cloudy here as it was at home, but
humid.
It's not humid, it's not hot.
It's just comfortable.
Yeah. If we had done that years ago, we'd be eating free for a long time. Alright, gonna go ahead and show you the menu real quick. Again, this is not just a restaurant review. We're just gonna include this in our trip down, since it is part of our trip down. I hope y'all can see that. Flip it over. There's the other side. There's some really great food here. And some really great food here at Sonny's. Alright, flip it over. And that brisket macaroni and cheese. It's too fast. Brisket macaroni and cheese sounds interesting.
Yeah, that caught your eye pretty quick.
It sure did. Okay, so we do want to show you the 4 sauce options here, and if you would, read those from left to right.
We have original,
which is good.
sweet, which is my favorite.
It's terrible.
Sizzling.
Sizzling's good, or no, smoking.
Smoking.
I like the smoking and the original. The sizzling's not bad. It's got a little bit of heat to it.
Sweet's the best.
It's terrible. No, we just like different things, but yeah, 4 different varieties, and they are all tomato based. Isn't that wonderful?
That is wonderful.
They know what barbecue sauce is in Georgia. All right, so we just placed our order, and I don't know about you, but I'm glad to be sitting down to eat.
Yes.
Had very, very little today. I had 2 boiled eggs before I left the house, and
peanut butter sandwich.
And a little bit of salsa, because we made some salsa out of our garden, and it needs to be gotten rid of. It probably won't still be good when we get back home. So we're going to be gone 9 days.
Yeah.
And it's already been in the refrigerator 9 or 10 days or more. But it's still good today. So what'd you order? Now, she always likes to get well, I won't say always. You have mixed it up a time or two, but you like the...
I like the smoked turkey sandwich
and
on the garlic toast, and they're out of it. He laughed at me.
I was kidding.
But I got the pulled chicken, so we'll see how that is. And then I got slaw for a side.
Have you never gotten the pulled chicken before here? I know you've gotten like the smoked chicken.
Yes, I've gotten it. It was
on the
good.
bone. I got my usual, the chopped beef brisket sandwich, and I upgraded this time to a signature side. So the way it's set up, if you order a sandwich, you can do what they call make it a big deal. For an upcharge of $4, you get your drink included. Is that right? Your drink included?
Your drink and a side.
And one side, if you want that with the sandwich, or you can just get the sandwich without the upcharge. But since the brisket mac and cheese was a premium side, that was an additional $2 upcharge on top of the $4. So it's $6 upcharge basically. $1.99 for the signature side, and then $4 just to upcharge it to a side and a drink. So mine's going to come out about 20 bucks, and I always get that chopped brisket sandwich on garlic bread. I like chopped better because it's more marbled. Some people, if you want more lean, get the sliced. If you like it more marbled, get the chopped. And I always get it on garlic bread, and you have to ask, otherwise they'll give it to you on a bun.
The menu does say buns, so
yeah,
you do have to ask.
And you may have a waitress that'll ask you, but sometimes I just always tell them. The garlic bread here is the best. And when it comes on the sandwich, the bottom piece is even better because all the meat juices have soaked down into that bottom piece of bread. It's just like, it's heavenly. So looking forward to it tonight. Okay, so our food is out, and that is my brisket mac and cheese. It comes in a little cast iron pan.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, so pick mine up, and you can go ahead and actually dump the meat off of it. I don't eat it as a sandwich. I like to eat the meat separately. I ordered it as a sandwich because I like the 2 pieces of garlic bread. And you got the pulled chicken.
Chicken.
And coleslaw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm just going to do a quick sample of everything because, again, this is not a food review per se.
Slaw's good. You ever got their slaw here?
I usually get their slaw here. Either that or the baked potato, but that brisket mac and cheese caught my attention tonight, so I'm going to try that. It's got little pieces of cornbread in it. I'm not sure how I'm going to like that, but it's got the meat in it. I want you to try that and see what you think.
I think that's good.
That is real good. That's the best sign I've ever had here.
That is really good.
You can have half of it if you want.
No.
Because I don't need that much this late.
That is good.
I've lost 6 pounds.
Have you really?
Yep.
We've both been trying to be careful. Congratulations.
Doctor told me, I'll just be honest with you, she asked me if I exercise. I said I used to get on the elliptical about 4 or 5 times a week. She said start it again. So I've been on the elliptical most nights. I missed 2 nights last week, but I actually did my workout today before we left to come down here. So I have shed 6 pounds in about a week and a half. So anyway, you're welcome to all of that you want.
Chicken is really good. I think I still prefer the turkey, but the chicken's good. It's got a good smoked flavor.
Folks, that is a winner side. If you get to Sonny's, that brisket mac and cheese,
That is good.
that's amazing. Yeah. It's going to be a few quick comments in the closeout. This is not really a full restaurant review. We're actually trying to keep the length of this video down since it's going to be our entire trip to Florida, and this is just kind of part of it other than a separate review. So real quick, great meal tonight.
Was very good. I got the pulled chicken. The only issue I had was like second to last bite. There was a bone.
Yeah, so watch that if you get the pulled chicken sandwich. I mean, you enjoyed it, right?
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
But there was a bone in it, and it was about the right size that it could get lodged in your throat.
Yeah.
So be very careful if you go with that. How was your slaw?
It was good. My whole meal was good.
All right, chicken was moist. All right, yeah, beef brisket is phenomenal. I was really, really highly impressed with that brisket mac and cheese. Didn't know if I'd like it because it had cornbread in it. I've never really had cornbread in macaroni and cheese, but just make sure you get a bite with the meat in it. The bites that had the meat were a lot better than the ones without, but that's a great side. I hope was that a thing that's always on the menu, because I'd never noticed it before.
Well, it's printed on the regular menu, I believe, as well.
So maybe it's here to stay. Maybe I've never noticed it before. I don't know. Or I just want to make sure it's not a limited time offer, because I would get that probably every time, just to be honest with you. So anyway, we're heading, I don't know, we're going to Walmart?
Might as well, we're on the same side of the road.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, we'll continue on our trip tomorrow. So thank y'all for watching so far. All right, coming into Atlanta, traffic is actually moving. That's a good thing. I was concerned about that on a Friday morning, but I think rush hour is come and gone. Atlanta is one of the only big cities I actually like driving through. Still a very cloudy day, but supposed to be clearing off.
Yeah, I heard earlier when we were listening to the weather, it said high of 84.
Yeah,
it says cooler for this time of year.
Yeah, I think they said about 6 to 8 degrees cooler than normal. We've had a really, really cool week at home. Probably even a little cooler than here in Atlanta, but it's just some days didn't get out of the 60s, and the ones that did stayed in the low 70s.
Yeah.
And we are not stopping at the Varsity this year, sadly.
We'll have to get a peach pie, an extra one next time we come through.
Yeah, next time we come through. That Whataburger breakfast is still kind of sticking with me a little bit. Cutting back the calories this time, this trip. All things in moderation now. But there is the Varsity on the left. That's an Atlanta icon, has been for years. Sits right here in downtown. I love going to the Varsity.
Yeah, I do too.
And to the right of us is Georgia Tech, which is a university, by the way. A few people took exception last time to me when I said Georgia Tech University. I know that's not what it's called. It's the Georgia Institute of Technology, but it is a university by definition. So, but anyway, that's Georgia Tech, home of the Yellow Jackets. We're not moving fast, but we are moving. So.
Yeah, thankful for that.
And of course, south of the city is Hartsfield International Airport, and I guess that's still the busiest airport in the world, or certainly in the United States, even surpassing Chicago O'Hare, I think. I know several years it has been the busiest. I guess it still is. I need to move over to the right one way.
Just wait.
Okay. Alright, so this is where 75 and 85 separate, just up the road here. Last time we came through here, we stayed on 85 because we were going to Destin in the Panhandle.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're not going to Destin this time, we're going to Siesta Key. So. That's Atlanta. Well, we're in another stop and go traffic situation here just south of Macon, Georgia. Did we determine it was construction, or is there a wreck?
Construction.
Okay, apparently there's a lane closure up ahead and everybody's having to merge, but said this is going to be another 19-minute delay.
And we're down to 9 minutes per Google Maps.
So we're trying to make it to Buc-ee's here in Warner Robins. We're not far from it, it just can't get there right now. And we have a 5 o'clock reservation for supper that we hope we're going to be able to make. It's a little after 12 now, so we're still several hours away from it. And like I mentioned in the Whataburger review, this is going to be, it's an idea I came up with, what, about a month ago or so?
Yeah, probably about that. It's pretty creative.
Yeah, I think so. But if you know who we pull for in football, it's not somewhere you would expect to see us. But we're going to go anyway, if we can get there. I hope we can get there for our reservation time, because when we called yesterday, we're already almost booked up all the way to midnight. So
yeah,
if we have to move it an hour later, we may not get in, but we're hoping.
Hope so.
Okay, finally got through the traffic delay after about 20 minutes or so. What it was, I didn't get it recorded, but it was not construction. It was actually a tractor and trailer. The trailer had been hit violently from behind by something. It was like mashed.
It was messed up.
I've never seen one messed up that bad before.
I wonder if it even ran off the side of the hill, because they had a whole bunch of sand and stuff and a huge towing thing. I bet you they had to pull it up the hill.
Put it this way, it'll never be used again.
No.
The whole back end of it was just, I don't even know how to describe it.
I hope the driver is okay.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully if it was from the back end, that would have, he'd be okay, but that's a pretty good ways back from the cab. But anyway, exit now for Buc-ee's. So we're going to make a quick Buc-ee stop. We're not going to review. We've already done at least one review here, maybe two.
Yeah, we have.
So this is the Warner Robins, Georgia location, right off Interstate 75, exit 144. We've pretty much made this a yearly stop for what, 3 straight, 4 straight?
Oh yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yep.
I think it was 3 years ago we did our first review. This was our first Buc-ee's ever. But there's a few snacks we like to go in here and get, so we're going to do that right now. Alright, so here's Buc-ee's with their numerous gas pumps. And we are really hoping to find a parking space up front, because we're not going to be in here very long at all. And we got to leave it running for the little Yorkies.
The little ones.
But it looks like there's a bunch of people here.
Unless that person's waiting in line to get it.
Yeah, they probably are.
There's some right here. I mean, it's not right in front, but it's so close by.
Alright, well, we just left Buc-ee's, and it is starting to rain lightly here in south central Georgia, or central Georgia. And I tell you, Buc-ee's is hard on the wallet, because you go in there and find a lot of things you don't really need.
A lot of snacks.
Yeah. But we knew we'd be snacking around the room a little bit this week, so we kind of stock up a little. Got chocolate milks. I'm not going to tell you how many we ended up buying, but like 1 per day for the week. But I have to tell you all this one on Shaughnessy. First time we stopped at Buc-ee's, you got those raspberry coated pretzels, right? And you fell in love with them. And was it by the next year they had stopped carrying them?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. It's like they quit carrying the yogurt covered raspberry.
Yeah, yogurt covered pretzels, raspberry. They have other flavors, but you like the raspberry.
Yeah.
I've never heard such complaining in my life. Every Buc-ee's we would go in, she would ask the people, when are y'all going to start carrying these again? And no, of course nobody knew, but I think she just wanted it to get around all the Buc-ee's. We're getting a lot of complaints. So they just started carrying them again, and guess who didn't even buy any today?
The reason I didn't buy any today, they have a new product that was beside the raspberry ones. And actually, if they had chocolate covered pretzels, I probably would have gotten those. But they have popcorn. It's a sweet, like caramel covered popcorn, and I got one that had a white and chocolate drizzle over it, which I think is delicious. And then I got another one. It's peanut butter caramel flavor. And they had another one too, and I don't remember what it was. But I got those in place just to try something different, because I do like popcorn like
well,
that.
Well, when they quit carrying those yogurt-covered pretzels...
They need to get chocolate in there.
But I thought the raspberry's one you like.
Yeah, I do, but I like chocolate too.
So if they quit carrying them again, you can't say anything. But yeah, so we're back on the road. Didn't really get a whole lot today. I like the little Buc-ee's animal crackers too. Those are... I grew up on those little animal crackers. I don't even remember the brand now. They showed the animal and the little circus.
Yeah.
These taste just like them. A little cheaper too. But anyway, back on the road now and headed towards Florida. And again, we got a 5 o'clock supper reservation. It's now 1:04. If we have any more delays, we're probably going to have to call and change our reservation.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But we did get a notice earlier. There's a crash somewhere on 75. They said expect delays, but hopefully they got that cleared out by now.
Hopefully it was that one back there. You think it could have been that one?
That's possible. If that was the case, maybe.
Because that's pretty major with that truck.
But we kind of wore out our delay time now. We got to put the pedal to the metal and get to Florida. We are 136 miles above the Florida state line. We just now switched drivers at Buc-ee's because somebody got a nice nap.
I was tired, I had to get me a nap, and I think someone else is going to take a snooze.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not actually tired at the moment. But anyhow, we are headed down through well, I guess it's still central Georgia. So I keep wanting to say South Georgia. To me, anything below Atlanta is South Georgia, but that's technically not true. But yeah, we're near Perry, Fort Valley, Georgia right now. Exit 136, 136 miles to Florida. So anyway, sign there, the exit sign, Unadilla, Pinehurst. Who knows the significance of Unadilla, Georgia? All of you people that go to the Smokies and do restaurant reviews, how many of y'all know who the mayor of Unadilla, Georgia is? You heard it here first, I guess. I don't know that. Somebody else might have said it too, but
the videos
none that we've watched have said it. We didn't. In fact, we didn't say it when we reviewed this place because we didn't know it then, but we know it now. Tell them who the mayor of Unadilla is.
Myron Mixon.
Y'all might have heard of Myron Mixon if you have eaten at his new barbecue place in Gatlinburg. He's actually from this area, and this is the town he was elected mayor in 2016. And is still the current mayor.
So he must be doing something right.
Yeah. Yep, Mr. Myron Mixon. And I wish we had known that when we ate there, but I think we found it out maybe a week or two afterwards. So the man owns a restaurant in Gatlinburg and manages a town in South Georgia.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Must have a good business mind.
All right, I always... Coming up and down this road years ago, I always looked for the first sign showing Florida. There it is. Well, no, you said we passed a Lake City, Florida sign back there.
Yeah, mileage sign.
But the Georgia-Florida Parkway, that is 99 miles above the border, so under 100 miles and we will be in the state of Florida. We don't actually know where we're spending the night tonight. That's a first for me because I always have reservations made ahead of time. And that's because of our supper plans.
I think once we eat, we'll be able to kind of gauge it a little bit.
Either we're going to stay in that town or we're going to drive a little further and get a little closer to it.
Yeah.
Because once you get to Florida, you're still not close to Siesta Key. You're still about 280 miles from it. So it's way down in the States. There's Lake City, Florida, 133 miles. So we're getting there. All right, so I'm just going to talk a few minutes here. This is Interstate 75, as I've said a few times. This is a highway I've been coming up and down. We made our first trip to Siesta Key, my mom and dad, I think 1972. You weren't born in 72.
Yeah.
You still had 5 years to go. I was born in 69. So, you know, we have a 7.5-year age difference between us. I've been coming up and down 75, going to Siesta Key, Florida. It was a yearly vacation for us. Pretty much every year growing up, with the exception of maybe one, we came down here. And then you and I have been coming for 30 plus years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got some time on this road yourself.
Yes, I do.
Mine goes back further, but you've probably traveled it as much as anybody from North Carolina has.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like our boys and stuff like that, you know, all the trips we made with them.
But I just, this year's a little different. I've been just kind of, we switched drivers now, but I've just been kind of riding down through here reminiscing a little bit and thinking about some of those early trips, especially those in the late 70s and early 80s. My dad's brother, my uncle, his family, you've heard me talk about my cousin Kevin, who very highly accomplished in the military. In fact, if you put in Kevin Holland on YouTube, there's either going to be a boxer who comes up, he's a fighter, or my cousin. He has a lot of videos about him too. I personally think my cousin could take the boxer. That's my opinion. One of the toughest people that I've ever met is my first cousin. But you've heard me talk about his time in the first Gulf War as a Navy SEAL, and the second, and after 9/11 he re-enlisted in the Army Delta Force. His unit captured Saddam Hussein. In fact, there's a documentary on YouTube that you can watch where he talks about that. But anyway, that's not what I'm going to talk about. But his family, I grew up with him. He had an older sister at the time when we first started coming down here. And then after that, they had 2 more children. So he also has another younger brother and a younger sister as well. But in the late 70s, early 80s, it was me and my dad continued to come down through here, and a lot of times Kevin's family, my cousin's family, would come too, my uncle, And some of y'all who follow us on Facebook know. If you don't follow us on Facebook, you probably don't know. But we had to bury my uncle the other day, Monday of this week, in fact, just a few days ago. He passed away pretty unexpected. He had been battling cancer for about 3 years and did well with the treatments, and then, you know, started to have some more problems, but we were not expecting this now. We were expecting it maybe months down the road, or maybe even a year down the road or so, maybe even a little longer. In fact, our family had a cookout planned, and we were going to get him together within the family on September 6th, and he didn't make it that long, but we were all expecting that. And I actually had told you two weeks ago, I said that when we get back from Florida in 2 weekends, I said I want to go up and see Eugene. That's my uncle's name. I said I want to go see him. I guess what I want to say is, if you've got somebody that you're planning to go see, do it, because you don't know. Y'all have heard me quote Proverbs 27:1 so many times on this channel. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. That is so true. I got the call at work from my dad last Thursday morning, and my dad doesn't usually call me at work, and he did, so I thought, well, he just didn't remember I was working today or whatever. But then it's like something hit me. I said, I hope this is not bad news, and it was. He called to tell me that Eugene had passed away, and honestly, I felt like the wind had been kicked out of me, because I mean, this is the uncle. I had a lot of uncles. This is the one I spent the most time with growing up, because he had children my age, and my dad came up from a family of 4 brothers. The oldest one didn't have any children that I grew up with. The second one did. I have cousins from the second brother too. His name was Roy. He had 5 children. 5, yeah, one later in life. So I grew up with them. So I grew up with my cousin Kevin and his sister Janine. And I'm just sitting riding down through here, because they went to Florida with us. They probably made this trip with us 5 or 6 times. We had a 1977 light blue Ford Econoline van. No air conditioning. Can you imagine coming to Florida every July 4th with no air conditioning? I don't see how we did it.
As a kid, I think you get used to it, and you're with your cousins, and we're spoiled nowadays.
We really are. But I'm going to tell you the worst of it is, we crammed more people into that van for that Florida trip. There might have been some years that we took a separate car, but I know a lot of years it would be me and my dad, my uncle Eugene, his wife Jeanette, and their 2 children. 4. There'd be at least 6 people crammed into that van. I think we started taking separate vehicles when my dad got married again, and Janine got a boyfriend. So I think, and he would come down with us. So I think that's when we started taking. But there was times we crammed at least 6 people into that van. Where we put our stuff, I have no idea. If you look behind us, we have so much stuff, there's no room for anybody else in this minivan but us.
We also have 2 e-bikes back there.
Well, that's true. We do have 2 e-bikes back there. We only brought 1 last year. I think we only had 1 last year.
We only had 1 last year.
But just kind of going up and down the road here, I'm just kind of thinking about those times as a kid with you know, my uncle and his family, who, again, we just buried him Monday. And there's a point in Georgia, my cousin, I mentioned Kevin, but he had an older sister, Janine. Her and I had a thing we would do. In that Ford van, we would, both of us, sit in the passenger seat up front. Wasn't seatbelt law then. So, I mean, you think that'd still be common sense and not safe, but you know, either my dad or my uncle would be driving. And her and I would sit up here, and the way we knew we was getting to Florida, this is going to sound childish, but I mean, that's what we were, children. The way we knew we was getting close to Florida is when we would start looking off the exits, we'd start seeing palm trees. Like at some motels off the exit, you'd see palm trees around the pool. And Janine and I would sit up here. We were always so excited to see those palm trees. And that meant we were getting close to Florida. And you do start seeing them in South Georgia. Now, the motel we stayed at in North Georgia, I had some planted out front. Didn't used to be like that. There wasn't any up there. But I'm just kind of thinking about those times, you know, when as family, you take those times for granted. You go on vacation, you have a good time, and then one day, somebody in that family's gone, you know. And All right, I'm back. Just kind of thinking about things a little bit. And then I'll say this: I wouldn't take anything for the memories you and I have of making this drive through. We have driven. We don't fly to Florida. We fly when we go out west. But we don't really fly down here. We just drive it, you know.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take anything for the memories we have bringing our boys. But I also reminisce a lot to my childhood memories as well. And you know, all of that kind of changed this week, even though they hadn't even been with us since probably, goodness, the 80s. I still remember those trips more vividly than any when my cousins were with me.
Yeah.
And we would get out in the water. We always thought we was always thinking we were seeing a shark. If we didn't, we'd invent a story and say we did. You know,
it's like, you know, whenever we're driving, this has been part of our trip, taken this way, is him reliving some of those memories and telling me those memories.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much every time.
Yeah, he'd always tell me about him and Janine looking for palm trees, you know, and then, you know, him and Kevin, you know, I don't remember if it was this morning or last night, you know, when the style was to have your sweatbands around your wrists and stuff like that. Or the little crop top shirts that they used to wear.
That's how I found old pictures of me and my cousin. That's how we stood without the air conditioning. We stopped at the rest area and he and I are shirtless. We don't neither one have a shirt on. I'm not going to be doing that on this video. But we had our little red arm wristbands, sweatbands, and we thought we were the coolest thing. Sometimes we'd stop if the Braves were in town. We'd stop and see a game on the way down. That wasn't every time, but if the Braves were in town, everybody wanted to, we'd stop and see the Braves. And you think back to those times growing up as a child, and those days, they're gone now. I mean, we can still do all that, but, you know, an uncle that I remember driving up and down this road with many, many times is no longer with us. And, this is just, I guess it's still fresh on my mind just from the funeral being Monday.
It is.
But anyway, I do encourage y'all, if you haven't looked up the documentary on my cousin, do that. My dad used to joke about Kevin, even as a kid, before any of this ever happened. My dad used to joke about Kevin and said you could strike a match on his shoulder. And that's about right. It's like he was just, you couldn't hurt him. He's just like, as a kid, he was just rugged. He could fall off a 20-foot building and get up and dust himself off. It's just, I don't know. He was different and just a very tough person. But had a lot of good times with family growing up, coming down through here and just seeing this area. I know we showed you all a lot of great scenery out west, Montana, Wyoming. South Georgia, I-75 does not have that kind of scenery, but this area still holds a lot of memories for me.
Yeah.
And I really think about them every time I come through here.
You do, and you talk about them.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
There's a little peanut here on the side of it. Let me see if I can get that turned around right quick. Hold on just a minute. Y'all can see that little peanut on the side of the road. That has been there ever since I was coming as a kid. That was one of the little landmarks we would see coming down through here. But anyway, just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Reminisce.
Yeah.
Share.
This trip's a little different than the past we've taken just because of that, you know. My uncle's no longer here. And I know they came at least 6 or 7 of those years with us.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of pictures of you guys down here. He's shown me a lot of pictures of growing up, cousins, and stuff like that.
All right, but anyway, we'll record more as we see something to record, just kind of chronicling our drive down here for you.
Yep.
Okay, just gassed up at exit 2 before entering the state of Florida, so we should be. I love these pro-life billboards right here. They've been there for years. The heart beats at 18 days from conception, so it is a human life. I appreciate billboards showing that. Hopefully it'll make the difference in somebody's decision making. So getting ready to enter Florida. We will be stopping at the official Florida Welcome Center in 2 miles. Welcome to the free state of Florida. we ever not stopped here?
We always stop.
I have posed for I don't know how many selfies that you've taken by this sign up here.
Yep, we have to get another one today.
Oh boy. They gonna look the same as the others. I'm always wearing the Braves jersey every time we come down. Florida welcomes you, and that's the photo op right there here at the Welcome Center. Get your picture of that, nobody can ever tell you hadn't been to Florida. Alright, to give y'all a little perspective on where we go in Florida, right here, 207 miles to Tampa. We just got into Florida. It's 207 to Tampa, and where we stay is 58 miles past Tampa.
So we got a little bit of a drive.
We still got 265 miles, and we've come 509 miles from our house now, so add that together, about 774 miles. Isn't that nice?
Very nice, and we're over halfway.
And we've driven it how many times?
Numerous.
30 plus times.
And it's like, you know, you get used to the route to where it's like, you think 700 and some miles, oh, that's so far away, but then it's like, you know, we also break it up, but it's just like we're making memories along the way, talking about old times.
But we have done it in a day before. It's only about 10 and a half hours if you drive it straight.
Yeah.
Remember one year when our sons was with us, our oldest son Dylan had a baseball tournament game back home. And we had been in Florida, so we didn't want him to miss his game. So we got up about 5 in the morning, left Sarasota, drove all the way home so he could play his baseball game. And what does he do? He gets thrown out of the game in the third inning. I couldn't believe it. I looked at him and said, "You mean to tell me we drive almost 800 miles to get you to this game and you don't even finish it?" You're almost in Tampa now. We do this a little different than most people do. And we're not staying on 75 to get to Sarasota. We're getting on 275, and I'll explain why here in just a minute. Got a lot of traffic right here, so I'm merging over. We do this kind of for just old time's sake. It would be quicker to stay on 75 all the way down to Sarasota. But years ago, when I first started coming here, this 275 was 75, and this is the way you went. And we just always used to get off on Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, and you can see the city from there, so you got pretty good shots of the city. And we just drove down Highway 41 from there into Sarasota, and that's just kind of the way we've continued to do it.
And
we're not really in any hurry today.
No,
so
we're not. And he even
it's a little more scenic.
He always asks me, do you want to, continue going that way, or do you want to just get, stay on 75 and get there, just a little bit sooner and stuff like that. But being, I guess just kind of like, this is the way we always do it, and I just enjoy it, because
we're traditionalists and kind of sentimentalists in a way.
We are, because I told him, I said, I'd hate to just go down 75, save a little bit of time when we're in no hurry, and then think, well, we didn't do our trip like we normally do.
Yeah, and in a way, this is a time saver because we always, on our way in, stop off at the Starfish Company out in Cortez, which is out near the beach.
Yeah.
And this keeps us closer to the coast. So in a way, this is kind of negating the time that we would lose anyway, because if we stayed on 75, we'd have a lot further to go to get to the Starfish.
That's true.
We just always get off on 275, and we like to see Tampa. And it just is a little prettier drive, getting off the interstate and getting on 41.
Yeah. And I want to say this too, yesterday Derek was, reminiscing memories with him and his cousin Janine looking at palm trees on the side of the road. We passed one earlier and he says, look at that. He says, that's just a wild palm tree, wasn't in like a motel parking lot, just along the interstate. I said, I wonder if that palm tree is one that you guys could have spotted as a child.
I guarantee it. This thing's been there a long time.
Yeah.
You just see them kind of interspersed in with the other trees. And I don't know, just as a kid, palm trees. We didn't have palm trees at home.
No.
And that was a sign you was near the beach.
That's it.
But I've thoroughly enjoyed our drive down. We've broken it up over 3 days. You can drive this in a day easy.
Yeah, we just...
I won't say easy, but you can drive it in a day. But we left after work, Thursday, after you got off work at 2. You left at 2 or 2:30?
2:30.
Okay. And we got on the road, just drove to Commerce, about a 3-hour drive from the house. And then picked up yesterday morning, drove to Ocala, and now we're gonna have lunch at our favorite seafood place of all.
Yep.
And yes, I am gonna do another review of it. I know we do it every year, but quite honestly, it makes sense because the channel has grown a lot just since last year. And there's people who are always saying, have you ever been here, when we have reviews in our history. So we try to keep updated reviews. One thing about Starfish, it's been consistent for about 20 years now. Every single time we've been, we've never had a bad meal. Ever.
Always good.
And we want to just keep you updated on whether that's the case. We've had a lot of people go to Starfish from watching us.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's good. We are proud to tell you about it because it's just a great experience. But anyway, more to come. Alright, starting to see the buildings of downtown Tampa and the skyline coming into view. So there's Fletcher Avenue. We get off on Hillsborough, a couple of miles up yet. Like I say, years ago, this was Interstate 75. So that's the way we had to go then until we got on Hillsborough, and just we continued to do that over the years. I like this route because you kind of go over some waterways and some rivers and stuff like that. It's a little more scenic. It does take a little longer. But because our son was just in Tampa, what, 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, he was.
I'm trying to remember, I think, did he go to the Rays game?
Yeah.
Okay. Our son, our oldest son, is on a conquest now to visit every Major League Baseball park. And he just completed all the California parks a few months back. So Tampa city limit. And should be able to see the buildings in the distance. I don't know how much I can zoom up on that. Let's just see. This old Honda Odyssey, we still drive an older vehicle, 2010 Honda Odyssey. It's got almost 185,000 miles on it. It's made this trip, what, since 2013 every year.
Yeah.
So,
it's been a good maintenance.
Plus a couple times in winter. So it's been on this road probably 17, 18 times.
Yeah.
I'd recommend a Honda Odyssey to anybody. This has been the best van we've ever had.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, we got it when we still had kids at home. I still like a minivan, even though it's just us now. I still like a minivan. All right, one more mile till our exit. Okay, now I'm going to throw this out there. I want to show y'all a feature. These have been here, again, ever since I've been coming here as a kid. You see them in different parts of central and southwest Florida, and that's, if you notice that hill over there, there's another one on the left side. I'm curious what those are. I think, and I want some local to correct me if I'm wrong, I think those are phosphate or phosphorus mines where like a lot of your phosphate fertilizers come from.
Yeah, see that one's all grown over in green.
That one's grown over in green, but the one back over here to the left, can you see it on the screen?
Yeah, they're like
it looks like sand, yeah. So anybody who's a local that knows for sure, if I'm right, tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. I want to say when I was in college down here, there's a lot of those over towards Mulberry, Florida too. And I want to say somebody said they were like where you get phosphate fertilizer, or yeah, I think it's phosphate. They're what is like 10-10-10. It's nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. I think that's correct. So I think that's what those are, is phosphorus mines. But if anybody knows, I'd like to know for sure. So crossing the InterCoastal Waterway here. Over there is Bradenton. It's starting to look like Florida now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Palm trees everywhere. We have driven out to Anna Maria Island, and no, Alma's Pizza has not reopened. We're just kind of going to drive down here to the bridge, the what is it called? The pass, Longboat Pass. We want to see how much has been kind of rebuilt, I guess, or cleaned up since the hurricane. We were here in December, and there was still a lot of hurricane damage.
Yes, there was.
There was houses literally leaning over, and that store there is still
being renovated.
Yeah.
Back.
So here's the Bridge Street area. That was pretty good last year after the hurricane, but once you get past this, down here on the left, there were some houses. I remember a yellow house. You remember that yellow house?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn the camera over that way.
Which, was there one right here on the corner?
There was a couple. See, yeah, maybe.
No, maybe not, because there's grass and stuff right now. No.
Okay. I don't remember. I remember there was a couple that were just really, really bad. The yellow one stands out to me. Yeah, if you didn't see that video from back in December of 24, we actually did a ride through and surveyed the hurricane damage here on Anna Maria, and we drove down to Siesta Key and did another video. I think Anna Maria got it worse than Siesta Key.
Yeah, they did.
At least that's what it looked like to us.
You can still see, like when I'm looking down these side streets, a lot of sand down through there. They had like, what, 2 or 3 feet of sand inland.
Yeah,
So
I think the road was actually covered for a while.
Yeah, because they scraped it and it looked like snow.
You can see a little bit of damage there. It did. It looked like it had snowed here, like 2 feet.
And they shoveled it to the sides, yeah.
And I don't think it's ever really snowed 2 feet here.
I don't think so.
Maybe it snowed a couple times in history, but... so here's that yellow house. And it doesn't look like much has been done with it at all. Go slow there by that. Yeah, look how that thing's just leaning, folks. The pillars underneath it are just collapsed.
So sad.
Wow. It is. Loss of property is sad. Loss of life is another level of sad. And there was loss of life. I remember when that hurricane was coming. Do you remember the story about the trooper that rescued a guy had tied his dog to the side of the interstate to a post to leave that dog to drown? I hope they got that guy.
That's terrible.
And I hope he's still in jail. But anyway, so not much damage after that. That yellow house is the one I was really looking at. Oh, they got a little ice dispenser out there. How cool is that? Good and convenient right there.
A lot of people out on the beach.
Yeah. Are we just going to turn around here instead of going across the bridge? Because I don't remember where you can turn around once you cross.
Okay, well, yeah, I can.
All right. Okay, we are entering Sarasota now, and if you have ever heard of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, that originated here in Sarasota, right out there to the right. It's now Ringling Art Museum. And we're just going to show you a little bit of the city in Florida that we love coming to every year. The greatest turn in all the world right now, or at least in all the state of Florida. That is the right turn that goes to Siesta Key Beach North entrance. Okay, and right here's the InterCoastal Waterway. This is the North Bridge. Only 2 accesses to Siesta Key. South access is Stickney Point, bridge, and this is the north bridge. I think it's what, 789, is that the highway?
That seems right.
The water looks like a nice emerald green color out there.
It does. Been some storms in that area.
We're on Bay Island now, gateway to Siesta Key. And then the little waterway bridge here, where I actually, with the drone, didn't even realize it until I got it home. Captured several manatees.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Didn't see it on my screen when I was flying it, but saw them when we got home and left them in the video, obviously.
Of course.
I don't want to be too redundant in this video because I think last year we did do a driving tour of Siesta Key north to south and featured a lot of this. And somebody actually said they found that helpful. But
Oh, that's good.
yeah, we're going to wrap this one up, our trip down here. Probably already a very long one. And now we're on Siesta Key. Alright, so a right turn here will take us through Siesta Key Village, which is what you would call, I guess, the shopping and dining center of the northern part of Siesta Key. Ocean Boulevard, we're at 4400, we're going to 5311. Okay, coming into the beautiful Siesta Key Village now. That thatched roof that you see, got some speed bumps. That thatched roof that you see, that is the old Salty Dog. We've eaten there a couple of times. They got the good pineapple coleslaw. Gas 301 out here on the key. So just let everybody see what all they got here. What's hand-rolled ice cream?
That's been there. It's just like they roll it into little rolls.
Okay.
Alvin's Island.
So Alvin's Island has come to Siesta Key, where Davidson Drug used to be. Did you know that?
Nope.
That's interesting. We are definitely going to have to pay a visit there.
We will.
That was the home of Davidson Drug for, how old am I?
Yeah.
At least since I can remember. I did not know that was an Alvin's Island.
I didn't either.
We like Alvin's Island, actually. I guess if there is any Vaseline for the wound of losing Davidson Drug, that would be it. Because I do like Alvin's Island stores. There's the Beach Bazaar on your left. That's another pretty decent beach shop.
Yeah, we like going in there.
Yeah. And you got complexes on both sides. That's why I'm not. I will show you this yellow building. It's a sandal factory. Well, I don't know if I got it or not. That was the 7-Eleven for years. And we are here. There's Gilligan's Island. That's the one and only time you'll ever see us sing in a video. The Fudge Factory. They got some good milkshakes.
And good fudge.
Oh yeah, their fudge is good too. And here we are, Siesta Key Beach Resort. And there she is. Thank y'all for watching.